Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the Gnarly Gnome. This is the Weekly Pint. It's our weekly happy hour. It's our excuse to hang out and drink together. It's the show that has become a show, the show that makes sure that I get a podcast out to you every single week because sometimes we just can't we can't do the brewcasts the way we would want to because of scheduling issues, just life. As things keep improving on the business side of what I do, that means I have less and less time to do anything else. So sometimes there's not a brewcast, even though I want there to be a brewcast, and this show just kind of holds it all together and makes sure that we still get a chance to hang out together and have a drink and talk about whatever we want to talk about. Sometimes there's a whole bunch of beer news. Sometimes there's a whole bunch of booze news. Sometimes there's just stuff that we have to drink together because that's what you do at a happy hour. You drink together. For anybody that's new, because this is a happy hour, it's important for us to engage with each other. You don't have to have a beer. You can have a cocktail or a water or whatever it is that you want to drink, but we engage with each other. So jump on the chat, which I'll pull up here on the screen in just a minute. Jump on there, and you can talk to the other people that are hanging out and drinking with you. You can also call into the show. The drunk line, if you aren't familiar with it, is over here. It's 567-70-DRINK. You can call in, and we'll pull you into the show that way. Or, like I said, there's the chat, which will appear here in just a minute after whatever this thing does its thing. I am going to crack open a couple beers here in a second, and not Oktoberfest, although we are amassing quite the little stack of Oktoberfest beer back there now. For anybody that didn't watch last week to the show, we pit Taft's against High Grain, and High Grain won. That has been the only matchup so far, but like I said, as you can see, there's a few more sitting back there waiting to battle it out. I'm going to let it build up a little bit, and then we'll get the bracket kind of started to settle in a little bit, and we'll start battling head to head. So stay tuned for that. But I do have a head to head comparison that I want to do today. I don't have a lot of beer news or local news to talk about, so I want to have these two beers. I'm pointing here because they're sitting right there. You guys can't see them, but they're right there. But we're not going to do that yet. I have another thing that I want to try. I was at Jungle Gyms earlier, and I stumbled across this. And if anybody knows me, you know that there are only a few like beverages that I drink, and I drink a lot of those beverages. Beer, obviously, booze, obviously. I drink a cup or two of coffee each day. I think the average American, that's not abnormal. And then the last one is sparkling water. I drink a ton of sparkling water, usually either bubbly from Pepsi. I like the bubbly. I do some Liquid Death a little bit. It's a little expensive, but it's good. And that's probably about it. I drink a lot of those, but a lot of bubbly. But I saw this at the store, and I'm not gonna lie, it intrigued me. So this is from Monster, if you can see that, and it is called Tour Water, sparkling Tour Water. So this is for the Warped Tour. It is a giant 19.2 ounce can of sparkling water. It says, Monster Tour Water. Pure, clean water is the elixir of life. Put it in a can, please. That would be nice. We need it now, or the buses won't roll, the bands they won't play. That, my friend, would be a very bad day. So said Kevin Lyman, circus master of the punked out Vans Warped Tour, Anno Domini 2003. Okay. That's when it started. I guess that's what that means. Of course, we stepped up and made the original Tour Water. We've been making it for our events, artists, and athletes ever since, but never made it available for our greatest fans until now. That is, we tracked down great tasting water from local sources to cut down the freight effect. This is interesting. Interesting. Packs it in infinitely recyclable original Tor water art for the can graphics just to make it look sexy. It doesn't give you energy, but what the fuck you gonna? It says WTF. You gonna drink water? You got to drink water sometimes, or else you're gonna die. And then it says recycle or become extinct. MonsterTorwater.com. So yeah, I mean this is interesting. So they say they source it locally. They go into little detail when you read the fine print. It is from either deep well water in Mount Laguna, California, or Cold Spring, Minnesota. Advanced filtration, yada da da. Okay, deep well water. Is this a new trend? Are we gonna see more and more packaged punk water? All right, let's see. Josh says that Monster wants that Liquid Death money. I think you're onto something. 19.2 is the only way to do it. I will say the 19.2 ounce can of Tor water is the same price as the 16 ounce cans of Liquid Death. So $1.99. It's a little strange paying $1.99 for a can of water, but whatever. Let's see how it is. Get a good sniff. Doesn't smell like anything. Can you hear the bubbles? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can get behind that. It's good. It's sparkling water. I have not had a ton. Now there are some plain sparkling waters that I've tried that have been just garbage, but most of them are it's plain water. Like how hard is it to just make plain water sparkly? Yet somehow some people screw it up. Julia says that Liquid Death is the only canned water for me. Liquid Death is my favorite. As well, no, I still think Bubbly. Bubbly might be my favorite. Although, so typically if I'm getting just plain sparkling water, I go Liquid Death or LaCroix, which LaCroix is okay. It's a little too sparkling for me, but the Liquid Death is probably the best. However, I did finally buy my very first pack of Bubbly plain sparkling water. Normally when I get the Bubbly, I get lime. So I'm curious to try that. Maybe I should have done a head-to-head there. Well, the Bubbly's not cold, so I can't. But we can do a head-to-head of... it's probably not a fair head-to-head, though. So this one is pretty fresh in the house. This was canned... it's not that fresh. 2/16/23. So we're a few months in. Urban Artifact. This is their pickle. You guys know Urban Artifact's pickle beer. One of my favorites. However, this one is definitely not fresh. This is the Wickles Pickles from Highwire. However, this is not the most recent Wickles Pickles. They did like a spicy batch of this. I've been sitting on this in my my fridge for a very long time. In fact, it was canned about a year ago. So, yeah, it's not fresh. However, I think we're gonna kind of stir everything up a little bit. Make sure we got anything that's on there evenly distributed. It's not a pickle vertical. Sorry. I might have an old pickle laying around somewhere. I'm not sure. Somewhere. I wouldn't know where to look right now. Sorry. I assume that was something... Urban Artifact's probably a little different because of how much real fruit they use, and some of those flavors do drop out, but I imagine that a lot of this is... Now, it says... maybe I'm wrong. Ingredients are sour ale brewed with cucumbers, dill, coriander, Himalayan salt, and black pepper. So, yeah, I mean, they... it's real fruit. It says... We teamed up with Wickles Pickles to make pickle beer. This crushable sour ale is tart and refreshing with notes of fresh dill and subtle spice from Wickles Pickle Brine. made famous by its perfect balance of sweet, sour, and spicy flavors. Yeah, sounds good. I have not tried any of the Wickles Pickles variants from Highwire. However, I've heard about them. I've heard that they're good, so we'll battle here head to head. Pickle 1. All right, this is the Wickles. We'll put that on the right. I hate that you guys can't see my desk right now. Whatever. We will fix that. At least I built a little pyramid behind me so you guys can see the Oktoberfest beers. One thing at a time, right? Pickle 2 is our Urban. I can tell you right now, just pouring them in a can, the Urban looks better because it's got a big old head on it. Oh, man. The whole room smells like pickle beer. I wonder which one that is. It's got to be the Urban. Yeah. Wow. All right, I'm gonna go Wickles Pickles first since it's older, and so I assume some of those flavors dropped off. Again, it's not a fair comparison because of the age difference here, but they're definitely different. I can't place that that smell I'm getting from the Wickles Pickles, but all right, let me dive in. Okay. No, that's good. It's definitely not as like bright. There's still the dill is still there, but it's definitely not tart. The way I know the Urban Artifact is, there's tartness there, but not really. It's almost like a closer to like a blonde ale with some fruit and maybe some pickle brine. It's like it's like if I took a swig of a beer and then afterwards ate a pickle. No, flip that. If I ate a pickle, then took a swig of beer. That's what that reminds me of. It's good. Man, I wish that was fresh because I don't know if it's just the freshness of the beer or if it's just kind of a letdown. It's tasty. It's not bad. Yeah, the tartness, maybe. God, that's so good. So Urban, it's definitely a pickle beer, but you can really you can pick each part of the pickle. You can you get this big like cucumber note, and before that you're getting this briny, salty thing, and then it's tart when you first get it in your mouth, and man, and then the dill is kind of floating in between it all. It's to me, this beer is the perfect deconstructed pickle. It's not in your face. It's not over the top. It's a perfect pickle beer. This one's fine, but it's like somebody described a pickle beer and then they tried to make it. It's fine. It's fine. I wish it was, like I said, fresh, because I feel like I'm not getting a good representation of what that beer is supposed to be. What are they? I wonder what they do on Untapped. Not that Untapped is a good representation of anything in the craft beer world, depending on who you ask, I guess. Let's try Wickles Pickles. All right. The Hula Pickle Beer is the latest one. That's a 3.5. Oh man, there's all kinds of things here. There's somebody, Half Moon Bay Brewing Company made something called Zito's Zwickle Tickler. That's funny. This original one though, this comes in at 3.55. Let's see if I have any. Well, I've got a couple friends that have had the same one recently. Yeah. I'm not the only one drinking it not fresh. They're rating it way higher than I would, though. All right, let's see what Urban's pickle beer comes in at. Urban Artifact pickle. Let's see. 3.45. Okay, so Wickles Pickles is rated higher than Urban's. That's how not accurate Untapped is, because my experience is different. Josh says, don't drink the pickle too quick or you'll get sickle. Maybe. Brian wants to know the best beer I had when I was in Salina. So that's kind of the only thing that we're really going to talk about this this episode, is that I was out of town for the weekend, which is not even a good representation. We're out of town for like one night. Every year this time of year, we drive up to Salina for Lake Fest. We go and we hang out up there, and we there's a big festival, and we do all the rides with the kids, play games. We hang out for the fireworks, which are, to me, the best fireworks in the world, which hopefully, I know I tease this sometimes and then don't get to it. Hopefully there'll be a YouTube video. Best fireworks in the world. And then while we're there, we also drink heavily. We drink a lot. So the best beer that I had, do you want to know the best beer that I had that was made in Salina, or do you want to know the best beer that I had? There is one brewery in Salina. Now, right outside of Salina, there's a few different ones. There's Moeller Brew Barn over in Maria Stein. I assume everybody that's local here, they know them. There's also a place called Tailspin, which is another couple towns over, further south, which I've only been to once. I've had their beer a couple times, but I've only been there once. Coldwater, there you go. That's Tailspin. But we didn't get to go to any of those. The only brewery that we went to was the one downtown in Salina. That is Lake Rat. Julia says, I should have asked you to bring me back some brew juice from Lake Rat. Yeah, that is probably their kind of core, their only real kind of staple beer that they do. They do some other stuff. I believe, let me pull up my notes here just to make sure I'm not telling you the names of the beers wrong. They when I got there on Friday, that was, so we get into town and we always eat. When you first get into Salina, for anybody that's been, there's a little restaurant right as you come into town that's called the Boardwalk Cafe. It's had a couple names, a couple names throughout the years, but it's now Boardwalk Cafe, right in what they're calling Boardwalk Village. They have remodeled this bar over the last few years, and it is just like my favorite spot in Salina now. You can sit right on the lake. They have an okay tap list. There's a couple Moeller Brew Barn beers on tap. No Lake Rat, which I think is kind of strange, but and then some other good beers. But we drank cocktails heavily when we first got there. From there, we shot right over to Lake Rat. Lake Rat is a Hunting Agnes says nice shirt, nice band. The Lake Rat is a brewery downtown Salina, which for anybody who's not been, is a very, very small town. The brewery is on kind of it's two storefronts. One side is the actual brewery with, I guess, some overflow space, some event space maybe. And then the other side is what they call Brew Nation. It's a coffee shop, pastries, pizza, like flatbreads, and then a bar, full bar, with maybe, I don't know, we'll say 6 beers that are Lake Rat beers from the brewery, and then the rest are guest taps. So there's a bunch of good beer to drink, and with the utmost amount of respect for Lake Rat, their beers are not the best on tap. There are other great beers on tap. which is why kind of I make that joke earlier. Lake Rat is one of those kind of, because you're there, I'm gonna drink the beer. If you put it up against anybody else, it's not the best stuff in the world, but it's fine. I did a flight on Friday when I got there. The first beer that I had was an Oktoberfest, which was last year's Oktoberfest, that he was very proud of the fact that he stashed a keg away to let it age for a year. Which, okay, everybody should experiment and try things. An old Oktoberfest just tastes like an old Oktoberfest. It's not not a good representation of what the beer probably was last year, which I don't remember having it last year. I had brew juice, obviously, which is again their kind of their staple beer, the one that they always have. It's a hazy IPA, New England IPA, and it was fine. There's a pale lager that they called Mercer County. That was probably my favorite beer that I had of theirs. It was fine. And then I'm trying to remember what the last beer that I had. From the Heart. They had their version of From the Heart, which was this year's is a cold IPA. I don't really know what theirs was. It was not a cold IPA, if I understand cold IPA, but it was fine. It was okay. I would drink it. And then when we went back on Saturday, Hunting Agnes says properly whelmed. I was definitely whelmed. just right at the normal level of whelmed. The next day when we stopped back, I had some more of the Mercer County, and then I did switch to Guest Taps, if that tells you anything about my Lake Rat experiences. And it's not bad. It just isn't as good as I want it to be. Brian says, my friend's dad was a milkman for 50 years in Coldwater and has a beer named after him at Tailspin. I love that. Love it so much. Tailspin, we went there. The only time that I've been to Tailspin was right after they opened. My wife was pregnant. It was probably right around Lake Fest. And then on our way home, I forced her to stop and take me there. Since she couldn't drink, I just sat there and drank for the both of us. So it had to be pretty close after they opened. Like I said, I've had their beer a couple other times since then, but have not gotten to go back and kind of see what the tap room has become and what the beer has become. I assume it's only gotten better. Moeller Brew Barn I've been to several times throughout the years. They're fine. Julia says, my attachment to Lake Rat is their pint night at Delhi Liquor. It's where Josh and I first met Michael from what was Adina. Still have the pint glass, and I love the brew juice branding. Simple, but it stands out and is recognizable. I love the idea of Lake Rat. Like there's, Salina is it's the perfect town for like a small brewery like that. Like downtown Salina, especially over the last, we'll say, 6 years, has kind of shifted and started to become this really kind of neat, I don't want to call it a tourist town, but they're trying. Like there are definitely some people in town that are trying to find ways to get people to come there and visit there. It's the lake is great. If anybody's never been to Grand Lake St. Mary's, it's fantastic. The town itself still has that small town feel, but there still are all of the things that you need. I mean, there's you can go get a good cup of coffee. You can go to Walmart if you need to go to Walmart. There's McDonald's. There's still like a good Pizza Hut, like a full on like go sit down Pizza Hut, like with the red roof and all that. There's good stuff in town. Like it still maintains small town feel without being full on small town. That's a hard balance to make. So to me, and especially because there's lots of people, you build that radius from downtown Salina. There are a lot of people that if there was a really cool spot in town, they would come into town to go there to eat, to have a beer, to support. Similar in the way that Muller Brew Barn or I assume Tailspin have kind of figured out that way to kind of pull people in and kind of make this the thing. If you've never been to, especially Maria Stein, there's nothing there. Like there's no reason that a brewery should be there, but it works because people come from outside of town to hang out there and have a beer. And I think that that's exactly what something could be in downtown Salina. Julia wants to know if the Pizza Hut still has a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. Now I would be really curious to see. I'm also curious if they have a lunch buffet because that's one of my favorite memories of Pizza Hut. So could the brewery in Salina be better than what it is? Yes. Marco says they have a projector and you can watch Dallas. But the brewery that is there just doesn't quite live up to its destiny, I guess. I still like it. It's still fine. Honey Agnes says, can you still cash in Book It coupons? I've got a whole bunch sitting up. I'm just going to bring them in there and get a whole bunch of personal pan pizzas. The stained glass lights over the tables. That is like, they have one of those lights down at Mikey's Late Night Slice next to Rheingeist, and every time I'm in there, I look at it and like it gives me like this extreme sense of nostalgia of what Pizza Hut was as a kid. Those red plastic cups and the arcade games, and it just I don't know. I miss it. Those tablecloths, the pizza sauce all over them. I love it. We're gonna wrap this up here because otherwise you're just gonna sit and watch me drink a whole bunch of pickle beer, which nobody wants to do. We could talk about small town nostalgia or the value of a good brewery in a small town. We do have podcasts coming up, like actual brewcasts. Obviously, this show is every Monday. In theory, every Monday morning you're supposed to get a Cincy Brewcast, and then Monday night you're supposed to get this episode, and then periodically you're supposed to get Drinking with the Gnome episodes. That hasn't been happening. That is definitely my fault. Sort of my fault. It's been busy. Like it's a good thing, but it's just been too busy to make it happen. But we have, well, we'll see. Nothing is etched in stone. We'll put it that way. I have some tentative stuff set up with March 1st. Some tentative stuff set up with Street Side, Wandering Monsters. We've got a couple things that we're trying to figure out, but it all just comes down to scheduling. So stay tuned for that. Cross your fingers that it all works out the way it's supposed to. Otherwise, just be here on Mondays because this will always be here. And, well, I shouldn't say always. We'll usually be here. And throughout all of the different social media feeds, you can always look forward to these fun Oktoberfest Quest showdowns throughout the fall season-ish, the fall summer season, whatever you want to call it, the Oktoberfest season, because we got to figure out who the best one is this year, and I think it's gonna be tough. I really think it's gonna be tough this year. I'm trying to think of all the other things I want to share with you. Big Sis has been brewed. We have the release date scheduled. have more about it very soon, but for now, go ahead and mark your calendars for September 22nd. That is a Friday night down at Darkness. We are doing the release. We'll have a big event. We'll have some charity raffles and stuff to raise some money, and we will. We lost camera. Hang on. Of course. Oh, I don't know why. Hang with me, guys. Figure it out. Whereas I was wrapping up, see, we could have had this all figured out. All right. Oh, I know why. We, well, it's going to come back, but I ain't going to be happy about it. Maybe. There we go. All right, let's try to wrap this up before it gets grumpy again. I overheated the camera. I had the thing closed. It's silly. So Big Sis, the 22nd. That's right, 22nd of September. Also, very soon I'll have more details on this year's Beer, Booze, and Bonks, because that is it is coming. I believe we have a date. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna say Veterans Day. That's what we're looking at right now. 11/11, and there will be one session this year, a little bit longer, but just one session. None of that craziness of trying to pick which session you go to. There will still be VIP options and all kinds of fun things you can do beyond that, but one session. So stay tuned for more details. Just follow along on social media and at thegnarlygnome.com. That's where you get all of the latest and greatest news, which actually I feel like this is kind of a trend with me. I've been bad about keeping the website up to date on all of the latest Cincinnati beer news. However, I'm getting this year's Oktoberfest information up there. We have a post up about all of the best Oktoberfest festivals that you can go to. That's there, and then I've got a post going. Kind of, it's not like live for you guys, but for me, I can see it, of all of the Oktoberfest beers. I don't know if I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up there and then kind of just keep updating it, or if I'm going to wait and kind of confirm all of the beers that I think are going to be on tap and then put it up there. So I'm still kind of on the fence about putting it up yet, but it'll be there soon. I did kind of change things a little bit in that now you can go to thegnarlygnome.com/Oktoberfest, and it'll always give you kind of a post that breaks down everything you need to know about Oktoberfest. So right now all it is the festivals and then a post about the beer style itself. But there'll be more coming to that. I'm building that out a little bit, and that concept is going to kind of grow a little bit. There's more to that. It's very, very complicated. Elijah said, just got the kid to bed and a beer poured. Peach tea from Urban Artifact. I need to stop at Urban. I have 2 months, 3 months worth of beer to pick up, including all of those tea beers, which I'm really excited to try. Anyways, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna drink this pickle beer and my Tor water, and that's it, and then go to bed because I have another busy day tomorrow with I have 4 different things I need to shoot tomorrow. There's just all kinds of stuff happening. It's so busy, you guys. I wish I could explain to all of the people that complain about there being no Brewcast, like how much other crap is going on. Not crap's not the right. It's good stuff. Like it's fine and it's fun and it's good and it enables me to do the other stuff, but it's a lot. It's just a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to squeeze it all into just a few days a week, and that's a lot. If you haven't picked up on that. Anyways, we'll be back next week. This is the show that is a show. If anybody didn't know that, it's a happy hour, and it's an excuse to hang out, and because of that, I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. If you like this or any of the other things that I do, you can always support it by going to thegnarlygnome.com/support. And for all of you who already do that, I appreciate you very much. We've got some really fun swag bags that will be going out very soon. So stay tuned for that. There might be something special coming with that too. So I'm not ready to share that yet. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers, everybody. Have a happy Oktoberfest season. Okay, I might do Steins this year. I might send everybody Steins. I can't hold it in. Gnarly Gnome Steins. I've been waiting to do it for like 3 years.